There is no single definition for innovation. It's up to each organization to define what it means to them. In general, it can be stated that it's a creative way of thinking and a different way of looking at the world. It's like another state of mind. We need to be receptive to the world around us and not bound to traditional mental approaches or paradigms. I would say that today, more than ever, innovation is vital, and those that don't innovate actually don't survive. An innovator, first of all, needs to be a great team player and have the capacity to come up with new ideas and processes that create real value for the organization. In my view, there's like three main elements that I would like to mention. One, the ability to deeply observe and patiently listen to people's challenges. Two, technical knowledge to understand how different technologies interrelate to each other and also know its limitations. And third, good at identifying patterns and trends in the industry. Some of the challenges I see are having to explain to people that your job cannot be measured using traditional KPIs. Another challenge is how to introduce incremental innovation without leaving aside disruptive innovation. Explaining to stakeholders that you're creating a critical mass of innovation, knowledge that will have practical application over time, but in the meantime, it's not necessarily something tangible. The right corporate environment and support need to be pre-established before any form of innovation initiative can successfully develop. Furthermore, innovation needs to be an integral part of corporate strategy for sure. I have implemented an innovation process which starts by listening to our customers and the teams closer to the daily operations. The ideas are then channeled through each of the department's heads and openly discussed and ranked in what we call an innovation board, conformed by the key decision makers of the company. The innovation department is then responsible to join the dots and make sure that those potential ideas can be translated into value in the best way possible. Along my 20 plus years of professional career at Fortune 500 companies, I've been very fortunate to lead pioneer projects and technologies both internationally in the Middle East region. But the most recent example of working with Master Institute of Science and Technology jointly developing the next generation of smart and sustainable electric-cooled dollies for temperature-sensitive shipments is something that I'm very proud of. Developing an innovation product from the ground up, which is in addition eco-friendly. The transport industry needs to evolve and innovate very quickly. The challenge for me is the pace at which this needs to happen in order to be at the highest possible competitive. We are currently exploring disruptive innovations in our industry, but I cannot talk much about that at present as it's quite confidential. Innovation involves a lot of testing and validation of ideas. At the same time, that we need to ask the what-if questions. I would tell them that they should never be demoralized by apparent failure. Edison once said about the invention of the light bulb, "I have not failed, I just found 10,000 ways that don't work." I would also tell them it's up to them to raise the bar each time higher. Diversity can become a competitive advantage if you manage it properly. As an example, the Emeritization program in the UAE is a perfect example of a successful diversity implementation. It allows us to have Emirati talents in our innovation department, which brings a rich new perspective to the team.